What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to give you guys some Atlanta Falcons news. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned today in Atlanta Falcons news, last night our Atlanta Falcons did shock the world in the first round of the NFL draft by selecting two explosive pass rushers. First, at the number 15 spot, they did take Jalon Walker out of the University of Georgia. And then they traded back up in the first round with the LA Rams. And they was able to select Pearce Jr. out of the University of Tennessee. And I love this move by our Atlanta Falcons and Terry Fontenot of being very aggressive in the first round of this draft. I really feel like the Falcons are knocking at the door as far as the playoffs and being a team that could be contenders in 2025 in the NFC. Now, we know the NFC South has been one of those divisions that's been up for grabs the last 3 to 4 years. I believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the last 3 to 4 seasons in a row. So I really like the moves that we made on defense. We know that our offense is set with Michael Penix. We've drafted in the first round the last 3 to 4 years offense with Michael Penix, with Drake London, bringing in Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts. So I love them using their assets in this draft towards the defense and bringing in two quality pass rushers. Jalon Walker is one of those guys at the University of Georgia that was one of the leaders of that defense. A guy that was flying all over the field, can do multiple things, similar to a Micah Parsons, where he can rush the passer, he can play off-ball linebacker, you can move him around the defense. A very cerebral player and a guy that was a big-time playmaker at Georgia. And then we went out and also brought in Tennessee's edge rusher, Pearce Jr., who's a guy that's, I believe, ran the fastest 40 in this year's combine out of all of the edge rushers. But he is a guy that brings that speed off the edge. Is 6'5", very long arms, a guy that's relentless as far as his motor. And I love this pick as well, bringing him in. And now you have two bookend pass rushers. Also brought in Leonard Floyd in this offseason. So bringing in Leonard Floyd, he talked about having a basketball team as far as guys being able to rush the passer. And I feel like the Falcons have done just that with them bringing in Jalon Walker, now bringing in Pearce Jr., because now you have those two guys. You add them to guys like Arnold Epikady that's still on this roster. You add Caden Ellis, who's still on this roster. You still have the young guys in Ruka Rororo. You still have Taquan Graham, who you brought back. So you have a lot of guys off the edge. D'Angelo Malone still on this team. So now you have depth. Braylon Trice, who got injured last year during the preseason. So now we have a bunch of different guys, young guys, coming off the edge. And I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons team, with this selection, we're going to get back to that fast and physical defense that we had years ago under Dan Quinn, when Jeff Ulbrich, who's our current defensive coordinator, was here with the Atlanta Falcons, and both Raheem Morris. I really expect this Atlanta Falcons team to put up a lot of points this year. In which you add in these pass rushers, if we're playing with a lead, I really feel like we're going to be able to unleash those guys off the edge and use that speed on our turf at home. It's going to be really, really hard to stop those relentless pass rushers from getting home. Once you get a big lead with guys like Michael Penix, who's going to put up, I feel like, probably close to 25 to 30 points a game, it's going to be really, really hard to stop guys like Pearce when he pins his ears back, guys like Jalon Walker, guys like Caden Ellis coming off the edge. And I expect that out of this Atlanta Falcons team. I expect this team to be similar to that 2016 Atlanta Falcons team based on how it's built. Now all I need the Falcons to do is go out and solidify that nose tackle position. I believe we have a couple more picks in this draft today or tonight and tomorrow. So the Falcons still have that opportunity to go out and get that 300-plus pound guy to be the center of the defense at that nose position. But once they do that, I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons defense is set. They may add another corner or another safety just to add more depth. But I like what the Atlanta Falcons have done. You guys know that I believe in building your defense from front to back and having a really good front seven. And if you're able to create pressure, that's going to force tip passes and interceptions and, force fumbles, all of those different things. And I really feel like this Falcons defense is going to be predicated on forcing turnovers. So bringing in a guy in Jalon Walker, bringing in a guy in James Pearce, those guys do just that. Both of those guys were playmakers, big time playmakers for both of their universities. And I expect them to do the same thing with our Atlanta Falcons. So with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on us bringing in Jalon Walker, us bringing in James Pearce Jr. Both of those guys was in my, at the top of my draft board. I talked about bringing in impact players, and that's exactly what the Atlanta Falcons did and Terry Fontenot did in this draft by going out and bringing in two of the top edge rushers in this draft. So with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.